Well, good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. Today we're in the backyard. We're behind the raised bed garden, part of our plant bed that we have around the perimeter fence. And we're going to talk about a couple of problems that I have back here. Also today what we're going to do, we're going to answer some of the viewers' questions on here that can be shared amongst all of you. You might find some of those answers a little interesting. So let's go ahead and get today started. Now without further delay, let's get today's video underway. Now this morning we're back here by the raised bed garden, and behind the raised bed garden I have a plant bed. It's along the perimeter fence. I have a couple of troublesome plants, and it's my fault that we're having some of the problems that we have. Now when you buy some plants sometimes from the landscape nurseries around here, what they're going to do, they're going to give you a plant that's inside a bag, similar to these. It's like a little pot. But what they are, they're going to be full of this, and this is rice hull. Rice hull is something that acts as an absorbent material that retains moisture, and it provides the water nutrient that goes to the roots of the plant that's inside. Now, normally what you're supposed to do when you transplant these to your garden, you should add a mixture of rice hull. You should have some soil, mostly soil, and then you can add some type of fertilizer, like maybe a 1-year-old or older cow manure, or a little bit of fertilizer to add to that soil, making sure that you don't put anything that's new, any new manure, because it's too rich and it will burn out the roots. And you don't want to put too much in there as well. And you can put something like the worm poop, the vermicast, you can put that inside there. That's actually even better than the cow manure, but it's a little bit more expensive. Now, when I planted, what I did not do, I did not add enough soil to them. And they are not getting enough water way back in the corner where the rest of the yard is getting plenty of water from the irrigation. That's one area that seems to get neglected. So as a result, we're having some burnout of some of our plants. And let me show you an example of one of the problems that we're having. We can actually save the plant. One we weren't able to save, but let me show you another one that we possibly can if we take care of the problem now. Now you can see this shrub here, you can see there's some damage here, and the damage of this is because it's not getting enough moisture to the roots. The plant that's here was very similar to the plant that used to be over here, but it was 100%, the entire plant looked like this, and it pretty much died. So what I did was I pulled it out. When I pulled it out, what I noticed was it's nothing. It's 100% this rice hull, and there's no moisture to it down here. And again, it's my fault. I didn't get this area watered. I don't have a in-ground irrigation set up in this corner right here. I have an extra one set up, and we'll talk about it later on, the way we have the irrigation set up in the yard, but it has not been implemented here. So I hand water this, and some of the yard watering from the irrigation system gets the raised bed garden, most of it, but it needs more. You can tell by the dryness of some of the strawberries in this particular area in the center right here. So what my plan is for today, I'm going to dig up all this rice hull right here. I'm going to mix it with a higher concentration of good topsoil, add a little bit of manure to it, and then what we're going to do, we are going to put this plant over here. You see this is a red palm. It's like the red palms I have all around the yard. I love red palms. We're going to take this red palm, we're going to plant it here, and then eventually, once this quarantine is all over and the nurseries are open again, we are going to move this one. We're going to try to save this plant right here, but we're going to pull it out later on, and we're going to put a red palm here. I want red palms on both sides in the center of these fences in the back. Now, if you've done the correct thing and you have the correct mixture of soil and composting material and the rice hull and things like that. Something like this is what you should see. This is our Eugenia right here, and it's extremely healthy. It gets very good watering, and actually needs some trimming. You can see I need to do some shaping here. These are supposed to be more ornamental, where we are going to trim from the bottom, and it's going to be like a round bush. Eventually it will grow up, and what I want to do is I want to make it into a two ball. It would be a ball up here and then a ball in the center, almost sort of like doing bonsai. Now what I'd like to do, as I said in the intro this morning, I want to address a few questions and comments that people have been having, whether it be in email or in the comments section on our channel. And one of them has to do with the banana plants. I've got a lot of people since we posted the last video showing the bananas and them leaning just a little bit. Everybody is concerned about they're going to lean too much and they're going to fall, and it's going to cause damage maybe to the fence or something like that. And of course, when a banana starts getting the weight from, when the banana plant starts getting the weight from the bananas, it's actually a lot of weight. When you pull this off, you're going to be surprised at how heavy this is. So this plant right here was leaning in this direction, the opposite way. And the one that we addressed the other day with the blossom, that eventually is going to grow into some bananas over here, the Lantundan. You see the blossom up there. It was leaning over the sidewalk towards the street, and eventually it would fall and it would do damage to the fence. A lot of people said you need to put some kind of support inside there, prop it up maybe with some bamboo or some cocoa lumber or something like that. But what I decided to do, since this plant is leaning this direction towards, I'm going to say towards the maybe the south, and this plant was leaning towards the north, and I took two of the cargo straps and I tied the two banana plants, I tied them together, you can see. And basically what I have now is the banana plants themselves are supporting each other. I know it's not the prettiest thing, but it works, and it's kind of hidden behind the Bahay Kubo right here. And as long as it's effective and we don't have any damage to our fence and the bananas continue to mature here, we're good with that. So that was my response to all the people concerned with the leaning of the banana plants. Now there's a lot of you who are new subscribers to my PI Dream, and you aren't aware of some of the projects that we've done in the past around here. If you're into home projects and you're into building, especially building inside the Philippines, I recommend you go back on some of our older videos and take a look at some things that you can do that aren't traditionally done in the Philippines, but we did. We kind of brought a Western perspective into our build here at Villa Fleas. Now, what you're looking at, for those who haven't been watching or are new subscribers and you don't know what's going on down here, the old subscribers can tell you that this is a cistern. Underneath this little trap door right here is 30 cubic meters of space inside, which is a cistern. The cistern lies under exactly the size of this raised bed garden right here. And what we have water inside the cistern. And what does the water do? The water provides all the nutrient or the water that the yard needs. We have bluegrass. We planted bluegrass, and we have that also in some of our other episodes. At the very beginning of our build, or let's say more towards the end of the build when we actually started doing landscaping. But you notice that all this green grass, which is a variety of bluegrass, all of this is fairly green for a very, very dry season over here. Now bluegrass requires a lot of water. So during the rainy season, it's in heaven. It's in grass heaven out here. But right now, we have a schedule on our irrigation system, which I'm going to show you here in just a minute for those of you who are not familiar with our irrigation system. We have a schedule every other day in the morning and in the evening, basically at dusk and dawn. This gets a full watering cycle so that we maintain the green and the health of the grass here. Let's go ahead and take a look. Somebody was asking the question. They were saying, James, how is your irrigation system doing? And I replied back to that subscriber, and it's doing great. And if you want to take a look, for those of you who are not familiar, we kind of have a mess here because all of the basil up here is just growing like it's insane how fast it is. I keep cutting this stuff back, but it keeps growing. Well, anyway, you see our irrigation system. These are the control valves. This is our pump. We have a filter over here. And down inside the cistern right here, when it's not raining, because we get rainwater that goes into the secret gutter system. Again, if you're not familiar with this channel and you're a new subscriber, we have what's called a secret gutter on our roof. You don't really see it from the out. You don't see gutter on the outside. And if you're interested in that, you can go back to those episodes. But what it does, we have downspouts from there. It goes through the ground and it provides water inside. Free water that we have that fills our cistern down here. And then to supplement it, I have a little valve over here. And if for some reason, like now, when we'll go 29 out of 30 or 31 days with no water, it will supplement the water inside here so that we always maintain water. So anyway, we have a program for a, let's see if I can open this up. You see, we have the Rycote system inside here. The Rycote system is a programmable watering system to water the yard, and it turns on and off these valves when you make a schedule, and I'll show you that in just a moment as well. But it's working great. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and give an example. We'll go ahead and turn on one or two of the zones so you can see how the watering works here in the backyard or the front yard of Villa Feliz. So what we're going to do here from the Rycote application, I am going to go ahead and activate one of the zones. So you can see all of our zones here. We have front yard, Bahay Kubo, backyard, raised bed garden, exterior fence, Zen garden, and the west garden. West garden is my little garden over there in the corner. So what we'll do is we'll activate. Let me go ahead, we'll walk around the front yard. We'll activate the front yard sprinklers from here, and we'll just look at how they actually do a water pattern in the front yard. So let's go ahead and do it. We'll activate it now. And we'll just do it for 1 minute and do a run. And so what you should see, now you'll see our sprinkler system. I have 3 heads, I believe it's 3 heads out here. Yeah, 1, and then there are 2 other heads over here. And they do a really good job of covering the front yard. We have 1 right here, and then another one right over there. And this will turn off in about a minute. Now we have zones all over. Again, you saw this is the west garden, the Zen garden over there, and that's the Zen garden. The little small area between the fence and the backside of our house, this area right here has its own zone, and it uses a special head that only covers this area. It doesn't go over the side, doesn't go up against the wall. Then we have also in the backyard, we have several zones. We have zones that cover inside the big planters here. There are little emitters. They call them emitters. Let me see if I can show you those inside here. See if we can find them. So you see right here, that's an emitter, and they go off when we do behind the raised bed garden. That's part of not the raised bed garden, the Bahay Kubo. So we have an area that does here, behind. We have one that does this entire backyard area right here. There's actually 2 zones back here, so that we don't put too many heads on one zone and we reduce the pressure. And then let's see, I think that covers most everything back here. So this is our irrigation system. Now, if you're interested in how I installed the irrigation system, the pop-up spread heads and all the different types of heads we have in the yard, we have several episodes that are dedicated to doing the installation of the irrigation system here. And it was, I won't say that it's simple. It is kind of simple. It's just digging. Digging is probably the most difficult part of doing an irrigation system. But the design and the setup is very easy, especially with the new technology like we use here with the Rycote application and the Rycote hardware. And the thing about it is you can be anywhere in the world if there's no pandemic going on. You can be anywhere in the world and you can monitor and activate any of your sprinkler system, your irrigation system anywhere from around the world. Now I think I'm going to close from here in the backyard and go ahead and continue to fix that problem over there where that Eugenia plant kind of died on me. So let me go ahead and get that done. I want to encourage you to continue asking questions and making comments on our comment section or via email, and I'll do my best to answer those as much as possible. Now, I don't know if you heard, but we have music going on in the background. We have rock speakers set up. That's part of the technology that we integrated, the smart home features that we integrated here in the backyard and the front yard of Villa Feliz. We have episodes that are dedicated to that as well, and maybe we'll readdress those in one of the upcoming episodes. But if you want to build something like that in your yard, please go back to some of our earlier episodes. I'll try to put a link at the end of today's video for where we actually built the components that we sent over here to the Philippines to make that possible. And again, anyway, thank you very much for watching today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. Please share. And if you have not subscribed, just click on that little MPID dream heart in the bottom right hand side of your screen. You'll be subscribed and you'll be notified the next time I upload a new video. So until such time, you be safe in God and have a wonderful and blessed day. If you enjoyed today's episode and you would like to see more just like these, just click on one of the helpful links over to your right and you might be able to pick up on some good information on DIY projects, how to, or if you are interested in moving to the Philippines and building, you'll find answers there as well.